Chuckload of Comics is brought to you by Cold War Games, creators of Squarriors, Fight Your Friends, and Lady Death Last Stand. For more information, visit coldwar.us.
This week on Chuckload of Comics, we're breaking down our picks for the 2019 Eisner Awards, X-Men Dark Phoenix. Should you see it? We're giving you reasons why and maybe why not. And the results of this week's viewer poll. What did you guys think of the new Wonder Woman 1984 poster? All that plus big news from Ace Comic-Con. Stick around. This is a Chuckload of Comics. Hey guys, welcome back to an all-new episode of Chuckload of Comics. It's our Sunday Week in Review show. Every Sunday, right here on YouTube, we break down the week's nerdy headlines, everything going on in the world of fandom all weekend long, right here on Sunday on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, take a second, click that subscribe button, join us here every Sunday for all the news. Guys, what a week!
Sunday Fun Day!
Yeah,
Sunday
Fun Day.
right.
Crazy week, man. Lots of
Right?
stuff happened.
Finally some sun out there.
It's beautiful in Chicago, guys. Before we get into the weekly nerdy news, Chuckload of Comics is sponsored every week by Cold War Games. Their new game, Fight Your Friends, hits stores in a matter of weeks.
Yes!
Get your copy of Fight Your Friends, guys. Go to fightyourfriends.net. It's time we reinstitute an ancient custom here on Chuckload of Comics,
What
something we
custom
haven't
is
done in a
that?
while. We're going to reveal a new character card for the game Fight Your Friends. You want to know where your money's going when you buy your Fight Your Friends game? Right here, guys. This week's character card. Take a look. Oh my God, is
Who
that
is
Shauna?
that? Is that Chuck?
Is that Chuck and Shauna on a card for Fight Your Friends?
Yes!
Look at that. Oh my God, guys. We are honored to be a part of the Fight Your Friends game. We are officially going to be immortalized in this card game that you can purchase. Chuck and Shauna, the art on
How
this one
cool
is
is that?
by a guy by the name of Raf. I can never remember this name. Rafael.
Actually,
Corona?
It's Steven.
Steven
It's
Corona.
that guy right there at the
Ta-da!
hot table. Rafael Corona, thank you for providing us the art for this card.
So cool.
Yeah, no problem, guys. It was a thrill to draw you goofballs.
Dude, you did an amazing
Make you guys
job.
into little cartoons.
Especially with
That was
Shauna.
so cool. I
You
look like a
did
badass.
the Lord's work with Shauna, blasting optical blasts all over the card right next to her.
I had to, man. Your character looked so cool with that lightning. You know, everybody loves that lightning look.
Yeah.
So you had to equal it out with those beams.
Dude, you
It's
did.
almost
Love
like
it.
she went full Cyclops. You know?
I know, it's so freaking cool. Well, when
Love
they
it.
first told us, the guys over Cold War surprised us and said, you're going to be in the game. We were super excited. I had one request, is that you make us the worst, crappiest card in the game. The
Yes.
card that nobody wants. Well, luckily they didn't do that. That was kind of a bad idea on my part. Look, we got a pretty strong card, I think.
I think so.
Lots of high numbers on our card.
Yeah, I think it's
I
good.
can't wait to play the shit out of you guys.
Yeah,
I
well,
know.
get your copy of Fight Your Friends at fightyourfriends.net. Huge thank you to everybody at Cold War Games for putting the Chuckload of Comics show in your card game.
And
Very
this
much
guy
so.
right here.
And thanks, Ralph, for the
Thank you,
amazing,
guys.
amazing artwork.
Oh, thanks to everybody. Thanks, Cold War.
All right, guys, so the first big nerd news of the week, I feel like it's been a year since we've talked about Ace Comic-Con, giving you our Ace Comic-Con updates.
It has been a year.
Ace Comic-Con's getting huge.
I know.
It is going to be the next Wizard World in the next 2 years, I guarantee it. This Comic-Con's getting massive. Well, we just found out this week, Ace Comic-Con is returning to the Windy City in October.
Yes!
I believe it's October 11th through the 13th. I hope I'm getting those dates
Sounds
right.
about right.
They're coming back, guys. Ace was huge for the Chuckload of Comics show last
Yeah, it
year.
was.
It was our first ever big booth, kind of a broadcast booth that we've ever really done. We've always done con coverage and stuff, but
Sure.
they gave us,
A
through
space.
the kindness of their own hearts, a space where the footage we did at Ace Comic Con last year went
Oh my God.
crazy viral.
Because it was fantastic.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Dude, our footage got featured on IMDb.
Yeah.
It got featured on therealstanlee.com, got featured on Screen Rant,
So cool.
CBR, comic book resource, man. It was all over the planet.
Love
Our
it.
sit down with Jim Starlin blew up, guys. Well, huge news that we got our first guest announcement for, drumroll please.
Who could it be?
You know her from the movie Room. You know her from
United States of
United
Terra.
States of Terra, Kong Skull Island. None other than Miss Brie Larson is coming to
Captain Marvel.
Ace Comic-Con. Captain Marvel. That's right. She wasn't Captain Marvel, wasn't she?
That's right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
She was all-
Endgame, too, I think.
yeah.
And she was in that Endgame movie?
Yeah, yeah.
That movie that made a couple bucks the last couple months?
And Scott Pilgrim.
She was in Scott Pilgrim?
Ah,
Brie Larson, man, you've been in all my favorite movies. So yeah, guys, tickets go on sale for Ace Comic-Con pretty soon. They're going to roll out the VIP tickets in the coming weeks. For more information on Ace Comic-Con, guys, go to acecomiccon.com. And
Nice and
they
simple.
got the biggest stars. Last year they had all the cast of the Avengers there.
They did, they
Loki
did.
was there. It's quickly becoming the biggest Comic-Con. Right up there with C2E2 and San Diego. It's getting
I know.
huge.
It
oh
is.
yeah.
It's going to take off, guys. So we're going to give you constant Ace Comic-Con updates every single week here on Chuckload of Comics. We can't tell you what our plans are, but we're already in talks with Ace Comic-Con to do something really, really big this year.
Gonna be great.
Oh yeah. The
So-
return of the man in the golden jacket.
Oh,
That's
man.
right.
If you guys weren't there, you missed out. I think I have a picture of me in the golden jacket on the main stage.
Oh, yeah.
Here it is right here.
Yep.
Don't I look lovely?
You sure do.
So, guys, it's time to reveal the results of this week's viewer poll. On Instagram, every single week, check us out on Instagram. We do a viewer poll, and then we announce the winners. This week's viewer poll, we got our first look at the Wonder Woman poster. Wonder Woman 1984. The poster dropped on June 5th, 1 year to the date for the release. Because the
Oh,
movie comes out
interesting.
June 5th, 2020. So they just did
Nice.
this poster. It's very split
Yeah, it is.
amongst fans. The results of we asked all you guys on Instagram, do you love it? Do you hate it? And for the first time ever, we had a split right down the middle.
That's
50
Wow.
50.
Yeah.
Half of you guys love it. Half of you guys never want to see it again as long as you live. I want to get you guys' take on this poster. Sean, I'm going to start with you because I just want to know what you think. What do you think of the new Wonder Woman poster?
I think it's fun. I mean, I know it's not going to be the last thing we see poster-wise. Like, it's colorful, it's bright, it's like definitely 80s all over it. But
that
what
it is.
is weird about it is it took me like 30 seconds to realize it was a Wonder Woman poster.
That's the thing. It's
I was like, wait, that's Gal Gadot. Oh, it's a Wonder Woman poster. I get it.
But I'll give them one thing. I'll give them one. To their credit, you cannot scroll through social media and not stop on that poster.
That's true.
It is
That's
so
true.
colorful, so bright. The big W in the colors going on. Ralph, what'd you think of the poster?
It's kind of like an acid trip, man.
Yeah, right?
It's
It
like
is an acid trip.
Wonder Woman loathing in Las Vegas, man.
Well, I'm going to come out and say it. I did not like this poster. I didn't dig it at all. I don't like that new costume. Now, maybe it's just the way the colors are reflecting off of her
Yeah.
new armor. Didn't dig the armor. It looks a little Aquaman-y.
Yeah.
It does.
To
It looks
me,
very
It
Aquaman.
does not say Wonder Woman at
It
all.
doesn't look like Wonder Woman, and it
Yeah.
doesn't get me excited for the film. But that might not be the point. I don't
Yeah.
think it's an announcement poster.
Right.
That's why they dropped it on the 1 year pre-anniversary of when the movie's coming
Yeah.
out. And it got people talking about Wonder Woman for a
It's
couple
true.
weeks or a couple days. It's only been this week. But I don't like it.
Yeah.
It didn't do it. I would not buy this poster and put it on my wall.
Yeah, it looks weird.
What do you think of the costume?
I don't know. I feel like they just stamped her head on top of this like
An Aquaman.
concept.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't even wear that costume in the
Yeah,
movie.
probably not.
I think this might just have been for the poster.
That makes
Yeah,
sense. I hope
let's see
so.
what people think.
I mean, the movie's
Yeah.
1984. I was expecting something a little bit. I would have rather seen her like at a glamour shots or
Yeah, right?
walking around a mall or something like some good 1980s flair.
Oh, nice.
Sitting at a Orange Julius or something. I don't know.
With her high top sneakers. And
Yeah,
her
buying some
high-top
kids.
Reeboks.
Somebody at WB's really fudging up.
Yeah, they might be because.
'Cause
Not
they-
to go off on a rant, but Warner Brothers announced this week that I don't think they're going to San Diego Comic-Con.
That's crazy.
They're skipping it this year. They're
That's
skipping Hall
nuts.
H altogether.
That's.
I don't know what's going on
insane.
at Warner Brothers.
I don't either.
But hey, if nothing else, it got people talking, and it is an effective poster in that you can't scroll past it and not
Yeah.
stop on it.
Yep.
It got people talking about your movie, so I guess
Yep.
it works.
Yep.
It's very
Ta-da.
attention grabbing. Not really digging it. So guys, it's finally here. The day we've been waiting for the past 2 years. X-Men Dark Phoenix is finally dropped in theaters. I have been eagerly awaiting this
really
movie.
Eagerly, have
For
you?
good and for bad. We're not going to do a full review because you can go online. You can see a million people are doing a million different reviews about X-Men Dark Phoenix. We're not going to do that. I'm going to ask you one simple question. Should you go see this movie? Should you take your hard-earned money, take your $15, drop it on the barrelhead, slide it across, and tell the guy at the ticket booth, sell me a ticket to Dark Phoenix. Should you do it? I think if you're an X-Men fan, absolutely.
Really?
Go see this movie. If you're a fan of the X-Men, you gotta go see it.
Really?
Now, it's currently sitting, I think, on a 22 on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, but I think last I checked it was like a 64
Yeah.
from viewers. It's an X-Men movie. That's about all I can say. It's not the dumpster fire. Let me give you my thoughts. Then I'm going to ask you guys what you guys thought about it. It's not the dumpster fire everybody said it was going to be.
Okay.
Is it a good movie? Maybe not. But is it? It's
Here
not
comes the
even.
honesty.
It's not even the worst X-Men movie I've seen. I still liked
That's
it
true.
way more than Last Stand, X3.
Okay.
I'll get my quick breakdown. It starts out really, really cool. Then that whole second act is just boring.
Yeah.
The second act, the middle of the movie just drags on and gets really boring.
Mm-hmm.
But the last 45 minutes, when they really kick in, I think that whole train scene that you saw in the trailers rocks.
Yeah,
You
that's
see
pretty
some
cool.
stuff in this movie that, as an X-Men fan, you see Dazzlers in this movie.
That's cool.
And they didn't just throw it in. You knew this was Dazzler as soon as you saw her. She's wearing her jumpsuit with her bell-bottom pants,
Yeah, she looks
playing
great.
with sound and singing, and that was badass. Only it lasted like 30 seconds. But if you blinked, you would have missed it. But that was cool. You got
Yeah.
to see Nightcrawler stab a guy through the neck with his tail.
Spoiler alert.
Nightcrawler did some really awesome stuff in this movie. But yeah, if you can get through the middle, it just is kind of boring.
Which is usually the most
Which is
important
kind
part
of
a
it's kind of the
movie.
meat, the sandwich.
Yeah.
It's like a sandwich with really good bread, but in the middle is just like, I don't know, truffles or something nasty.
Oh, gross.
Shauna, I want to get your thoughts on Dark Phoenix.
I disagree with you. I don't think you should go see it at
Really?
the theater. Yeah, no, I mean...
Skip it altogether.
Yeah, well, no, watch it at home when it comes out or stream it or something, but don't waste your money on it.
Really?
I mean, I
Okay.
think it's funny that you said X-Men, it's an X-Men movie, because to me, it's not. It's like freaking, they ruined it. Like, Mystique is running the
You're
X-Men.
right. It is the Mystique movie.
They, like...
That's
it's
always
just
been the
weird.
problem with the younger
Yeah.
X-Men movies. It's like, why is the villain Mystique
Right.
even at X Mansion?
Right.
You know?
Are
Why
they
is
even
she
buddies?
even running? It's like
Exactly.
That bothered me the most is the
Yeah.
fact that Mystique, not only is she friends, they have her running the
Yeah.
X-Men. She is barking orders at all the other X-Men, treating them like they were 5-year-olds.
It makes no
I feel
sense.
like-
Get in the plane.
I feel like every time she speaks out, that kid from Mean Girls should be in the back saying, "She doesn't even go here."
Exactly. It's hilarious. Yeah. Did not like Jennifer Lawrence. I haven't liked Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. I love Jennifer Lawrence as an actress. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. But as Mystique,
Nope.
absolutely not. And they've done crap with this character.
She
know.
doesn't even want to be Mystique.
She doesn't even
I
want-
mean,
and you
she
can
doesn't wanna
tell-
wear the makeup. She doesn't want to, yeah.
Good point. In the movie, she actually, after the first big scene in space, she morphs into her human form and basically stays in that human form
Yeah.
for the rest of the movie. Mystique would not do that.
Nope.
Mystique would
No.
not change into just Caucasian mode
Yeah.
and walk around in the
mansion.
X-Mansion
Yeah.
as a regular-looking human.
Makes no sense.
No.
Makes no sense at
Nope.
all.
No, that means she's putting herself in disguise. And
Right.
She doesn't do that.
In
She doesn't
front
do that.
of her
normal
friends.
self.
That's her whole philosophy, is that I shouldn't have to disguise myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like Fox doesn't understand the mutants at all,
I
man.
know.
It's like, have they done a good X-Men movie much? Or, like, when have they
One
hit
and
the
two.
nail?
1 and 2 were pretty on point. And then it kind of fizzled out. I liked First Class, but I didn't really like Future Past as much as
Yeah.
First Class.
Which one's the one where, like, Xavier's got a drug problem?
I think that was,
I think
you're
that was
right. I think that
Apocalypse.
was
No,
the-
I think
I think it's the first one.
no,
isn't it?
no, that was Future Past.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Going away.
'Cause that's when he
in this
decides-
heroin scene. Where
That's what
he's
keeps him
inject-
walking. It keeps him on his feet, and then if he stops doing the drugs, he winds up in a wheelchair.
Yeah, they really nailed it with Xavier there.
They kind of blew it with Xavier in this movie too. They really kind of depowered him. They made him a bit
Yeah.
of a chump. But at the end of the movie, you get to see Xavier actually joining in the fight, which he rarely does.
That's true.
Wait, let me ask you this: do you see Magneto in full costume in this one?
Full
No.
costume. If by full costume you mean a T-shirt and a pair of blue jeans, yes, you do.
and a non-painted helmet.
And
yeah.
and his
It's just a
gray
metal
helmet.
This just in: sales on the new X-Men Dark Phoenix movie have dropped.
Thanks to Chuckload of comics.
This movie is not making its money back.
Well, guys, oh no, it had a $150 million budget. Now our theater was pretty packed.
Yeah, that's
I'll give
true.
them that. So, guys, we want to know what you think. Did you see X-Men Dark Phoenix? Is it worth seeing? I think yes, if you're an X-Men fan. Shauna says no. Ralph is somewhere in between.
Well, I haven't seen it, so
Oh, I thought you saw it. Well, if you saw the trailer, you pretty much saw the movie.
Yeah,
For the
right.
most part. I mean, you really did. You saw all the beats of the film in the trailer.
I'll just watch the trailer for 45 minutes.
Yeah, why not? For free on YouTube.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, let us know what you think in the comments section. Moving on, our final story of the day. The 2019 Eisner Award nominees have been announced. The Eisner Awards, if you're unfamiliar, they're basically the Oscars for comic books. Every year they do the presentation, the big awards ceremony at San Diego Comic-Con coming up in July. It's, featuring the very best of the best in the world of comics.
So cool.
31 categories.
Oh my gosh, that's
In
crazy.
the Eisner Awards. We're not going to cover all 31. We're going to give you our picks, who we think will win or should win of 10 of them. Kind of the big 10.
Yeah.
Best news series, best artist, best writer. Let's go ahead and get right into it, guys. The first one, I think, the big one, best new series of 2018. Shauna, I think you and I are in agreement.
Yes, definitely.
Gideon Falls.
Gideon Falls, hands down. The book is so good.
Gideon Falls by Jeff Lemire, art by Andrea Sorrentino.
What a great combo.
It's right there on the... Pretty much all of our picks are sort of on the table there of what we think are the best of 2018. Check it out. If you guys haven't started reading Gideon Falls, get on the bandwagon. It's some of Jeff Lemire's finest work.
So good.
Absolutely spectacular and amazing art by Sorrentino.
Of course.
Next category, best continuing series.
Yeah.
If you haven't gotten my pick, Sean, I don't know if it's your same pick, but Immortal Hulk was by far the best new ongoing series of 2018.
Absolutely. I'm right on board with you, and it still is. It's what issue are we on now? Like
15, I
yeah,
think.
and it's still great. Every single issue is just awesome.
It is. It's like a horror story.
Yeah.
It's like Tales from the Crypt meets The Incredible Hulk. It's
So cool.
dark and scary. The art by Joe Bennett is
Awesome.
so incredible.
And the coloring, Paul Mounts, man.
Yeah, the coloring spectacular. Al Ewing crushing it with the writing. So yeah, best continuing series of 2018. Got to go to Immortal Hulk. This next one, best writer. I got 4. This is a tough one to pick. Nominees are there's a bunch of nominees, but the 4 we've kind of narrowed it down to. Tom King for Batman and Mr. Miracle. Jeff Lemire, crushing it with Black Hammer, Descender, Gideon Falls, Royal City. Kelly Thompson. So glad to see Kelly Thompson get a nomination. Love
That's
what she's
awesome.
doing. And Chip Zdarsky. Crushing over there,
man,
Peter
this
Parker.
is
Sean, I'm going to let
crazy.
you field this one. Best writer.
I have to go with Jeff Lemire only because Gideon Falls is awesome. Descender and Ascender, which came out this year, but oh my gosh, I just love his writing, and I think it's great. I have to go with Jeff Lemire.
Jeff Lemire for best
Yeah.
writer. I'm going to do a little wild card here and go with Kelly Thompson.
That's also a great
Love
choice.
what she did with Star Wars with Captain Phasma, what she's doing with Rogue and Gambit and Mr. and Mrs. X. Love it. If you're not reading West Coast Avengers by Kelly Thompson, you're missing out. That is the
That's a
most
fun little
fun book out there. So
Yeah,
I hope she wins. I think it'll probably go to Tom King or Jeff Lemire.
probably.
I don't
Mr.
know.
Miracle is pretty great.
This might be Mr. Miracle's year. Next one, best limited series.
Okay.
Speaking of Mr. Miracle, we've narrowed it down to Mr. Miracle and X-Men Grand Design.
Interesting.
Shauna, what do you think?
I got to go with Mr. Miracle. I
Really?
think that was such a great series. I mean, Tom King's writing is amazing, and then the art in that book, I love it. Absolutely.
It
love
was the most talked about book of last year. Mr.
Yeah.
Miracle by Tom King. I'm gonna go against the grain here. I'm going with X-Men Grand Design Second Genesis.
Okay.
If you guys haven't seen this book, it's so cool. The way it's written and the way it's illustrated, it basically just tells classic stories of the X-Men, but it's illustrated and bound in a way like it's an old newspaper.
That's
Everything's
cool.
very pulpy, and it's art, like very old school kind of art, and it tells very quickly some of the more famous stories. Like if you want to know about the Dark Phoenix saga, they do it in like 6 pages. They just do these really quick, hurry up retellings of some of the X-Men's most famous stories, and it's
cool.
really, really, really cool. The art's spectacular, and it's a good. If you're just getting into comics, it's a really good one to kind of start out with.
Nice.
You want to find out what happened in the 70s with the X-Men. It's a good place to start. Next one, best graphic album, also known as graphic novel. Best graphic album new. This is the new category. I'm going with Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. My heroes have always been junkies.
Yeah.
That book is spectacular, and pretty much anything Sean Phillips and Ed Brubaker
I know.
does,
You
like her
can't
Killer Be Killed right up there.
Yeah.
Everything these guys do is absolute gold. Sean, are we
I
in
know.
agreement?
Yeah, absolutely.
My heroes have always been junkies. Best new graphic album. Best graphic album reprint.
Hands down.
I got to
gotta
give it to
go
the Vision. Because, I mean, I would give the Vision an award
All the monies.
every single year. That is probably one of the best comic book series I've read in years.
Hands down.
It is the book, the only book. If someone has never read a comic book before, but they kind of know a little bit about the Avengers and stuff, I would give them the Vision, hands down. Again, Tom King, the guy that does
Yeah.
Mr. Miracle, crushed it with the Vision. And they're
For sure.
still, this book came out 3 years ago, and they're still giving it awards.
I know.
This is a reprint, the hardcover version they did.
That's pretty cool.
Of
Is
the
this
Vision.
the one where he's trying to like figure out his family and stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah,
He creates a
it's so
family,
good.
moves out of the suburbs, and tries to deal with like what it takes to become human, what it is to like be a family man.
It's so good.
It's
It's only
the
like
Vision.
12 issues, I think,
Yeah,
too.
it's
Not
a bunch
very
of
long.
androids living in the suburbs of
Yeah.
Washington, D.C. and just trying to figure out how to live as a family.
It's so good.
So emotional, so Oh god, it's gut wrenching. Absolutely.
Sounds silly, but it's pretty dark.
It's spectacular.
It's like-
It sounds great.
awesome.
Next one, best penciler. Basically best art. Best penciler / anchor. We've narrowed it down to Mr. Miracle, Mitch Gerads, and again, Sean Phillips for Kill or Be Killed. And my heroes have always been junkies. Shauna,
Tough one. I gotta go with Sean Phillips.
Yeah?
I love his
Kill or
art.
Be Killed.
Yeah. That's my pick.
I'm gonna disagree with you.
Man,
I'm going with
you are
Mr.
just
Miracle, man.
Going against me all
Mr.
around
Just
here.
something about the way that they illustrate Mr. Miracle is just so cool.
Yeah,
The
it
entire
is cool.
book is like the Watchmen style. This kind of 9-panel little squares. I mean,
Yeah.
the art in that book is spectacular. It's very, very Watchmen-y, the way they kind of design, and just the art. The art's
It
great.
is.
The way they draw his face, and like you can't say enough about Mr. Miracle
That's
by Tom
true.
King.
I agree. But
this
I'm still
one.
going with Sean Phillips.
The next one, guys. This flip a coin on this one. Best painter, multimedia artist for interior art. Flip a coin. These two guys are both amazing. We've narrowed it down to Batman Damned, art by Leah Bermejo. Ralph, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I don't know.
And
Maybe.
Dustin Gwynn from Descender. Shauna, flip a coin. Descender or Batman Damned?
That's a tough choice, but I just got to go with Dustin Gwynn because we met him.
We did. We met him at New York Comic
And
Con.
he's a nice guy.
He was
His
super
art's
nice.
Amazing.
He actually
It's
let
just-
us to hold. He let us hold the
Yeah.
pulpy originals from Descender because
It's-
the whole thing's watercolored.
It's watercolor, and it's really cool because he paints them on huge sheets too, and then
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, it's so awesome. It's beautiful.
Well, because you picked Dustin Gwynn,
Guess
and I
who you're
would have
gonna
picked him,
pick.
I'm going Batman Damned, Lee Bermejo. Every single page of this thing is an oil painting. It's the most gritty, dark. The painting in this, everything's an oil painting.
He
Everything is
got
a work of art.
Bruce's wang just
And
perfect.
he somehow managed to do naked Bruce Wayne in issue 1, and he got away with it.
Bruce Wang.
Bruce Wang. He gets the award just for putting full frontal Bruce Wayne on like 4 times in the opening.
Didn't they take that book off the
They
shelves
did.
and reprint it?
They reprinted it wangless. But we got
We got a Wang copy.
we got the Bat Dick copy.
No.
Next one, guys, best cover artist of 2018.
Yeah.
You got Mr. Miracle again, seen on the table there, by Nick Darrington and Julian Tedesco. Life of Captain Marvel and Hawkeye. Shauna, I'm
Man.
gonna let you go again.
I love Mr. Miracle. I'm going with Nick Darrington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those covers from Mr. Miracle were
I
spectacular.
know, they're great.
I'm going to go with the other one, as I've been doing this whole time. If you haven't seen the covers of the Life of Captain Marvel, it's really cool. All the covers are like,
Norman Rockwell.
they're like these old
styled.
Norman Rockwell style paintings. It looks very kind of 50s. The story tells the story of Captain Marvel going back to her hometown and meeting up with her brother, who's like in a wheelchair, and dealing with the events of her father and reconnecting with her mother. It's just basically her just going back to her hometown. But the covers are really, really cool. They're all very Norman Rockwell-y. Captain Marvel doing very Americana kind of stuff.
That's cool.
They were really cool. They were clever. And, I mean, Mr. Miracle covers were awesome, but these were really, really clever. Cool ideas.
It's just picking everything that I don't pick. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what's happening here.
You know.
Yeah. That's why he's asking you first.
I
He's
know,
like,
right?
what's your
What's
favorite?
your pick,
No,
Sean?
I
Nope,
didn't
going with
like
the other
that
one.
at all.
That's how we do on Chocolate Comics.
We
Last
love
one, guys.
everything
This is the
around
last
here.
one of our top 10 best coloring. Shauna, I think you and I are in agreement.
Yeah,
Hands
we are.
down. Matt Wilson, the color artist for Paper Girls and the Mighty Thor.
Absolutely.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
Especially because Paper Girls is wrapping up. What he
Yeah.
does with the color in the comic book Paper Girls is spectacular.
It's great.
His use of just solid colors to tell stories and set a mood.
Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, you feel like you're in the 80s when you read Paper Girls. You just feels like the 80s.
And what he did with the Mighty Thor, that was obviously the Jane Foster Thor run. The coloring is spectacular. What
agree
this
more.
guy does with a Rainbow Bridge will knock your socks off. Coloring was spectacular, but honestly, I mean, give him the award just for Paper Girls
Sure.
alone.
Agreed.
Really
oh my gosh, we
ingenious
agree.
color.
Holy cow.
We agree.
Yay!
All right, Matt Wilson, congratulations. You united the clans. Well, guys, that's our whole show. Let us know, what are your picks for the 2019 Eisner Awards? We'll do another recap show at San Diego Comic-Con with the winners if we actually get to go to San Diego Comic-Con.
We
never
will.
have
We're going to
before.
win that Kevin Smith.
That's right. We're winning
contest.
the IMDb boat contest.
There you go.
Well, guys, that's our whole show for the week. Ralph, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks
thank
for
you. Thanks for being back.
wearing your uniform.
Always great to be here in the Sanctum Sanctorum.
And
Yes.
thanks again for the amazing artwork on the Fight Your Friends card. Could not be more grateful for
I'm
that.
just happy I was able to do it. Happy I nailed your guys' look.
You
and-
sure
Thanks,
did.
man. Well, you can nail me anytime. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Join us here every single Sunday for the Week in Review here on Chuckload of Comics on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. Join the Chuckload of Comics family. We're here every Sunday breaking down the news. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
So until next week, guys, have a fantastic week. We'll see you here next Sunday.